Berlin's Mitte district has changed dramatically since the fall of the wall back in 1989. Klaus Baedicker is familiar with almost every building here. He's been photographing facades in Mitte for over 25 years, and the district continues to change.
I look at things and compare them to how they used to be as much as I can, and it's still a lot of fun.
Baedicker's photographs document nearly 3 decades of Berlin history, the past and the present. Black and white shots of deteriorating empty East German apartment buildings and the reconstructed Mitte of today. The photographer has never counted all his pictures. There are too many. Most of them were commissioned by the city. He took photographs for the Housing Authority, first in the former East Germany and then in a reunified Germany.
It started in 1984 when they wanted to put new buildings on empty lots. So I set off to take pictures of empty lots or houses that were going to be torn down. Or I took pictures of old rundown buildings that were actually supposed to be renovated in the former East Germany.
Now Baedicker wants to publish a collection of old and new in a coffee table book. He's been retired for 6 years now. Although he no longer lives in Mitte, the project often brings him back to his old neighborhood. He first moved to Arkonaplatz in what was then East Berlin in 1973. Most apartments in those days didn't even have private toilets. Things are very different now.
Reunification changed a lot. First, it fueled a lot of uncertainty because suddenly people wanted to know who owned the buildings. That made people feel insecure. You were always asking what would happen to your home because of the new owners. That was one chapter. When that was over and the buildings had been returned and renovated, people then worried about the rents going up.
They did rise, and many tenants moved away. Most of the people who live in Mitte now have moved here from other cities or other parts of Berlin. Today, it's a lively, well-heeled district. Baedicker is also interested in courtyards. He's learned how to say the right things to get people to buzz him into buildings. Here he says he's an employee of one of the city's housing groups. But even then, he's still not quite in the clear.
I'm often asked just exactly what I'm up to. People don't trust me at first and want to know what's going on. Then I can only get to work after a long explanation about history. I tell them this is how it was, and now we want to show how it is today.
In the streets around the city's famous Hackischer Markt, almost all of the buildings look completely different now than they did in the 1980s.
This building here has the original East German facade, which has a kind of charm. I've been told it's now protected. It's supposed to remain that way. It can't be altered.
Baedicker doesn't get nostalgic for the old East Germany when he looks at the buildings in the new Mitte. Instead, he says he's glad that the money began to flow after reunification to stop the urban decay. In addition to a lot of money, the renovation also took a lot of patience. Without it, Baedicker is certain many an architectural jewel would have been condemned and torn down. And the work in Mitte is far from over.
I hope that I'm still alive in 20 years to see what has happened here by then. I didn't sleep through the last 20 years of history in Germany. I constantly kept track of the same places, and I want to continue to do that in the future.
Documenting the ongoing development of Berlin, a passion that also keeps photographer Klaus Baedicker on the go.